Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pop, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely, lovely.
I tell you what, though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Lovely Holland. Lovely toys. Lovely Holland. Lovely toys.
Hello! You're very welcome to another episode of The Lovely Show. How are you, Justine?
I'm not too bad. I'm after walking in here listening to Westlife's greatest hits. Haven't listened to them in years.
Wow.
And it's so nice to go back and be like, God, I was obsessed with these boys.
And it's probably a very short album as well. It's probably 3 or 4 songs, is it?
There is a deluxe album. There's there's multiple albums.
Some B-sides.
And do you know what? You forget. Like, I was like, oh my God, I forgot the song exists.
Hit
and
me
now
with the bangers.
I remember. Well, I mean, hey, what? There's hey, whatever. But if I let you go. Do you remember that? But if I let you go, I will never know.
So weird.
what
As soon as you start
would
singing that,
be.
it's like I'm transported to like little, like 13-year-old Justine.
Yeah.
With her big round head.
Oh, big round head. And I would stand in the hall with a stereo. I'd put every song on and I would perform.
Wow.
You've obviously got. Now, don't get me wrong. These boys did a lot of covers. You know,
I thought you were going to say these boys did a lot of coke. These boys did a lot of Benelin.
Uptown Girl.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Billy Joel.
But like they do
Is it Joel
class.
or Joel?
I actually
Billy Joel.
switch them up a lot, depending on what day of the week it is.
It's fair enough.
Billy Joel is today, but I have called him Billy Joel as well.
See, the Westlife arrived after I had gone out. I liked Boyzone.
You think Boyzone was before my time?
Yeah, see, I liked Boyzone, even though I was a little boy. Mm-hmm. And I wanted them to do so well.
Not great.
Westlife, I was like, lame.
No. I was the opposite.
I was the OG.
Yeah.
See, there was no hard lads in Westlife. Like Shane, is it Shane, isn't it?
Shane, yeah.
Shane was fucking tough looking dude.
Sorry, you mean Shane from Boyzone. I was thinking of Shane from Westlife.
No, Shane from Boyzone. Shane from Boyzone was a hard bastard.
Yeah.
And Keith looked like he'd fuck you up as well.
Yeah.
Whereas I thought Westlife were just a bunch of soft boys.
Well, look at Brian was fit to take on ISIS.
Listen, hold on a second here. Saying you're willing to take on ISIS is very different than taking on ISIS.
Yeah.
He did challenge them to a scrap.
He did.
Over Twitter.
Over Twitter.
Like, did he at ISIS?
That's a good. Do they have a Twitter?
Do they have a Twitter account? Did he actually tag them in the post?
No, I don't think he did.
Nah.
I don't think
so. Unless ISIS were like had set a Google alert for their name, then they probably didn't get wind of Brian's threat.
No. And thank God they didn't, because that had spooked them.
Well, Ireland's a neutral country. The last thing we want is to have our government decide who do we back in this fight.
Yeah.
Do we back ISIS or do we back Brian?
Yeah.
Because I'd say the vote would be split.
Well, I'll tell you, no, if you look at the history here, I mean, he left Westlife. Wasn't cut out for it. So you'd be wondering, is he fit for the job?
Yeah.
Just things to consider here. And he's one person.
If you can't stick with a boy band, I don't know if you're going to stick with an international war.
And you're one person.
Yeah.
Against a whole organisation here. You're outnumbered.
And I imagine ISIS, they'd probably send their biggest lad. If it's going to be a one-on-one. If it's a one-on-one, like scrap, no weapons, stripped to the waist.
I mean, that's what he said in the tweet, man to man.
It's like, do you know, in like in Indiana Jones where he's fighting a lot of Nazis and they're like, oh, hold on a second here, and they send out the biggest fucker they have.
Yeah.
Some lad would have tash bigger than Harrison Ford's head.
Yeah.
That's what ISIS would do. They
Yeah.
send a lad with a big beard
I feel
and a big
very,
roundy knife
Yeah.
that you'd use for cutting ham.
Completely, because you see, you've unlocked something there in me that I'm reminded of my youth, whereby, oh Lord, depending on the sport now, I'd be picked. Majority of sports I was not picked, but you know, for ones like I was a savage goalie because I just took up a lot of space. Very handy. The shot put, incredible. I was number
Shot put,
one.
good shoulders.
Great big arm strength. Yeah.
High jump?
No, wouldn't have been for me. But tug of war. Oh, I know who I'm putting at the fucking back.
It would have been like
there.
Nick, you know, when Nick Frost tries to cross the garden fence.
Exactly that. But yeah.
So shot put, let's get Justine.
Yeah.
Goalie, get Justine.
And I'll tell you something. I was actually.
If you're moving
a good-
cattle, do you need someone to stand in a gap? Fucking get Justine. A bullock could be afraid to cross her.
Yeah. Yeah, but any of the, you know, ones that require a lot of movement, not really.
So what
my
are the other
strong.
sports that Chunky Justine would be
Well, like
picked
the
for?
wheelbarrow race. I was never the wheelbarrow.
No.
You know what I mean?
Were you the wheelbarrow carrier?
I was.
Okay.
Egg and spoon race. The egg would be gone. People wondering who ate the eggs. Just the spoon race.
Sorry, there was 16 hard-boiled eggs here in this car. I swear I bought enough. When you were going to Justine.
Yeah. So you
Very
know,
sold.
I had my strengths. I
was crap at sports, but for first year I was very good at the high jump. I was
Really?
live. I was very live.
Good Lord.
Good at the high jump, but crap. I'd know like hand-eye coordination, any kind of ball sports, fucking useless.
Yeah, I suppose. I think the assumption was
I'd
maybe.
panic.
Yeah. The shot put now, I was actually, like, people were like, fucking hell, that's impressive. But, like, if I did it now, I don't know how.
That's it, Justine. Just pretend it's a salad. Throw it as far away as possible.
Do you know, remember the fucking bleep test? Did you do that in school?
Oh, was that breathing? What?
The bleep test,
What's
where
that?
it's like basically a
not to
test
curse.
of your yeah, a test of your fitness, where it's like you run the laps and the bleep increases, it becomes more frequent.
Okay.
And I think they say you're meant to get to 7 or 8.
Okay.
And if you can't even get to that, you're apparently unfit. Now, there were some brave soldiers in my school who, after just, like, the first one, you're just walking, like, you know, it's that far in between the beep, you're grand. And then it builds up, it's a jog, it's a run, it's a sprint. Now, there's fucking, and if I could go back in time, I'd do the same. After the first one, even walking, they just walked off to the side. They're like, I'm not going to put myself through the embarrassment of knowing I'm not going to get through this. Where I was like trying to be like, I'll prove to them I can still, and I think I managed to get to 8, which I was happy about. But like, that was a horrible day.
I don't really remember the beep test.
It's just in front of everyone else.
Whenever I think of sports day, sports day in school, the only thing that really comes to my mind is doing the American Dream with Jackie Sheehan.
And that was one of the sports.
No. This was like
Off the side, down
this is on the side.
alley.
So like Jackie Sheehan was like this gorgeous girl in school, and she was kind of like dangerous as well. Like,
God,
you
you're
know,
giving out the full name here,
because
Kevin.
I know.
Fair play to you.
Well, I'm not going to say anything bad
It's
about her.
a fake name.
I'm not going to say anything bad about her.
Yeah.
She was a gorgeous girl, and I was quite an innocent boy, like, and which is what they used to call soft lads in Granard, to go,
Harmless.
fucking innocent boy.
Yeah.
Here, come here, you innocent boy.
Yeah.
So if you were weak in our school, that's what you were called. So Jackie Sheehan, they started doing the American Dream. For anyone who doesn't know, our version of the American Dream might be different, but what we used to do was you would hunker down, almost like you're squatting on a
Okay,
Chinese
yeah.
toilet.
Yeah.
So you'd hunker down, and then you would breathe really fast, I think, like 10 times, and then you'd stand up, and then a girl would choke you.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she would cut off your breathing for like 10 seconds maybe. And then
That's some people's wet dream.
and then you would like kind of have like a weird, you'd almost pass out.
Pass it, yeah.
But I was just so excited that Jackie Sheehan would be touching me that I was like, yeah, 100% I'll do this. So I did it. Stand up, Jackie touches me, my heart's going mental.
Yeah.
Like
naturally.
I didn't even need
Didn't need to be choked.
I didn't need to be squatting or doing nothing. If she just touched me, my heart would have exploded. So then she chokes me, and then I pass out and I fall and I smack my head off a table.
Yeah, see, I think it was, obviously the rumours went round about it being like, God, people, have died from it. And I think it spooked our school that much. People would talk about it. I heard about them doing it at the weekend, but I never did it now.
Yeah, if
people would do it on the
any
bus.
teenagers listen to this, don't do
it.
Don't do the American
Jesus
dream.
Christ,
This is
don't
how
do it.
boring life was before phones.
Yeah, we'll
We're
knock
like,
ourselves out for
Do you want
fun.
to cut off? Do you want to cut off circulation and
Yeah.
air
Like,
to your body?
genuinely,
So
what the
you have a
fuck?
weird dizzy feeling.
People say social media is bad, but Jesus, if it stopped us from doing that nonsense,
that was
maybe
bad.
there's some benefit. That was now not something I'd ever have. Even if it was someone offered it to me, I would have said no. I would have been too spooked.
I've
by
just
it.
had a banana.
I just had a banana, and I am grand.
Are you giving up anything for the Mark Wahlberg 40-day challenge?
I am not. Absolutely not.
When's the last time you give up anything for Lent?
Oh Jesus. It could be secondary school, like.
I love how because I saw a clip of him on American news, and he's got like the ashy cross on his head. He's just got the tag, and it was underneath. It was just like Mark Wahlberg's 40-day challenge.
That's so good.
It's like because they can't go too religious on like daytime news. It's like Mark Wahlberg's 40-day challenge. It's like, do you know about the Mark Wahlberg? It's like Jesus was in the desert. And Satan approached him, and there was like, "Hey, you want some Smarties? You want a crunchy?" And Christ was like, "No, I'm doing the Mark Wahlberg 40-day challenge."
Yeah, no, I couldn't be arsed now altogether.
Yeah.
I used to love it though in school when someone would be like, "Oh, I'm giving up Lent for Lent." I'm like, "You're a fucking mad bastard.
You're going to be a fucking comedy writer.
Oh, you are going all the way to the top. Fucking hell.
Kevin, what are you giving up for Lent? Homework.
Oh, Jesus, you pup. Wild. We
crack.
were fucking mad. No wonder we wanted to be
the rock
knocked
and roll
unconscious.
kids. Yeah, no wonder we were trying to damage our own brains out of sheer fucking boredom.
Are you doing anything? Giving up anything?
No. Well, I mean, I could. I'm laying off the booze. Apart from big occasions and the odd glass of wine.
Yeah. That's just, they do that in France when you're 15. That's grand.
Children in France. I drink as much as a child in France.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not drinking beer or whiskey.
I finished watching Blues the Warmest Colours, so I've seen all the French culture and I've just seen the kids at home drinking wine.
Wanking and everything,
yeah. Culture.
That'll be a challenge for a Frenchman to give up wanking.
Give up women as well. Or men.
No, I'm not giving up on them.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I had the pancakes yesterday.
Did you? What did you slap in them?
No, I just had the bit of lemon and sugar. That's it. But I didn't even get a crepe. Now I was kind of craving a crepe. I might get one today. I had some.
Did you watch?
ones.
Did you watch any of the Oscars?
I did. I stayed up to watch the whole thing.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
What did you think?
You see, I loved Anora. I fucking adored that
too,
film.
yeah.
Sean Baker is so long overdue.
Delighted for that lad.
man.
That lad was addicted to opiates. Then he made a lot of films before he struck a big.
Tangerine.
His fifth film was Tangerine,
Which was all shot on an iPhone.
on
It's
a fucking
phenomenal.
iPhone.
And he
And then-
seems like such a fucking ledge.
Yeah, Red Rocket I really liked as well. But yeah, I was delighted for him. Here's a lad making phone films.
Yeah.
And then winning. He's tied with Walt Disney for most amount of Oscars won in one night.
Believable.
4. Unreal, man.
But also, because when I saw Tangerine a couple of years back, the editing in it, I think I maybe appreciate really good editing from doing After Effectsy stuff and that. And I just think, and I was delighted that he won even the editing award because I was like, fucking, he's savage.
I love how you're comparing like your birthday rocket video.
Yeah, yeah. To
God,
a
you know,
feature.
actually, watching Tangerine, I really appreciate it. I made a 15-second birthday rocket video.
Yeah. But like, I love when I see really.
That, no, to be fair, I loved that sketch of yours. That was a lot of effort put in that.
Solid editing, yeah.
Where's your Oscar?
The people never appreciate it.
Did
They're
you
like,
watch Adrian Brody's speech?
Fucking hell. Do you know what pissed me off?
Holy fuck.
That
That was atrociously boring.
he made the music stop, like as in like, no, I'll finish my piece, then I'll leave. And you fucker.
No, he said, I've done this before. This ain't my first rodeo. No, it's your second rodeo.
You
it's your
fucker.
second rodeo.
Did you see the lads on before you who won for music? And there was 4 of them on stage and only 2 of them got to talk. And again,
Yeah.
the same for another one. I'm like, and you fucker think that you get the right to.
And I loved how it was so in theme with the Brutalist film because it felt like it was 3.5 hours long,
it
and
did.
it was brutal. To quote Dustin, but it's this thing of like, I suppose actors, because they're so used to people like hanging on their every word and like moving people deeply with their speech, they forget that they feel like they wrote their films.
Totally.
But like, what makes a film good is the writing.
Yeah.
So they think that they can just go up and talk shit for
they're
like
above it.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
I couldn't get over just how kind of boring the speech
Oh, it was lunacy. Going
And
on
it was
rants
all-
and rambles.
It was like, acting is so hard. It's really hard. It's like being a fireman. And, I was in the wilderness for a while. It's like, what, you made fucking King Kong. You can't talk about like, I was in a sequel to The Predator.
I was in a dark place.
I had to do a sequel to The Predator.
And he's also shitting on other than, I'm like, what? And you compare him to when Mikey went up, and you're like, the comparison.
Mikey. Madison.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The comparison, like, of just the
Or
most
fucking
humble.
Culkin goes up and man gives the
incredible.
best speech ever.
Incredible.
And he gave like a great moment. There was clipped. I heard it on the news the next day where he was like talking about. He said to his wife that if you win like a Golden Globe, they'd have another kid.
And
then she goes, "What about 4?" And he goes, "If you win a fucking Oscar, you can have 4." And he's like, "Spread them legs, baby. Daddy's coming home."
Yeah. But I love he always goes up.
But
with
it got such a great fucking reaction.
Yeah.
And the maddest thing. So Adrian Brody is gone out with Harvey Weinstein's ex.
Oh my god!
So when he says, he's like, "Thank you to my amazing wife or girlfriend, and to the kids for allowing me into your life." And Popsy's coming home with an award.
Is he talking about
Harvey Weinstein's kids? Popsy's coming home.
Oh my god! Because when he said that, I was like, getting sick anyway, but then to know that it's his kids, Jesus Christ.
It's literally, I think it's now the longest Oscar speech in history.
If you were going up to accept any speech, okay, would you have pre-written or would you be on the spot? Because I'll tell you something else. There was some other people who won awards where you could tell that they had learned off and rehearsed this speech. That to me, it lost some. Don't get me wrong. In that moment, you want to get all your points across and not leave anyone out and all that crack. But it came across so like acted.
Yep.
The acceptance. And like even there's moments where there were some people crying and I was like, this seems performed, this crying. Which I'm like, this is mad.
I would be afraid that if I didn't write something, I would probably forget. I'd either forget to thank somebody and I'd also say something stupid. I'd try and be funny and say something dumb.
Yeah.
Like for my wedding speech, I didn't write anything. I had a list of who to thank and then I riffed the rest. And I think it was grand.
Yeah.
But I have a funny feeling if it was recorded and I saw it back, I'd be cringing at some things I said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
Popsy's coming up.
Popsy's coming home with a award.
What a wife.
Popsy's coming home with a wife. So I don't know. What would you do?
Yeah, you see, I think there's something.
You probably have a little video prepared.
I would, yeah. But I'd just say this birthday rocket video made.
Can I just get an aux cable there? And a HDMI, actually, HDMI.
I'd like the way of Kieran, where it seems a bit like. Because here's the thing. I don't know. I think there's something that would damage me big time if I had rehearsed and prepared this whole thing and then I didn't win. There's something in that's wild to me to be like, obviously, I don't know, that would mess me up.
And people do like kind of a klutzy acceptance speech, like Jennifer. What's her name?
Lawrence.
Jennifer
Incredible.
Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence comes up and she goes,
so
"I'm
funny.
such a klutz."
Yeah.
And she kind of stumbles through it and it's quite endearing.
Totally. That's what I would rather be than to have learned something off. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd be like, fuck. The only thing I'd prepare
You're either going Anne Hathaway or you're going Jennifer Lawrence.
I'm Lawrence all the way.
You're Lawrence of Olivia.
I'd fucking love to be her friend. She seems class crack.
You've said that before.
Yeah, I have. It still rings through. I mean it. But I'd rather be that. Now, the only thing. I'd like to have a few people just in the back of my head, like, don't forget to thank these people. And I'd like to end with just a bit of Irish, just for the sake of, like, you know.
Saoirse done Palestine.
Yeah. They won't have a clue what
They
I
won't have
just
a clue
said.
what you're on about.
So you're sound, like.
I think that's Irish. It's Gaelic.
Yeah.
I think that's her dad's name.
Saoirse Ronan? Is that what she said? Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd rather do that. And be real in the moment of... And I think there'd be a solid meme, because I wouldn't be expecting to win. So it'd be me in the crowd, like, Jesus. You know, that kind of... I'd never expect... There's no way... I mean, this is a hypothetical.
The differences between the IFTA speeches and the Oscar speeches were huge.
Yeah.
We're very humble in this country. That was the other thing. Like, I watched the speech... Because I stayed up to watch half the show, and then I watched Adrian Brody's speech the next day with my wife.
Yeah.
And we were just like, fucking, that was awful. Why was that so bad? And it was so kind of arrogant. And then we looked, Siobhan's like, look at the comments. And all the comments were really, really positive.
Wild.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this guy. There's a guy who stuck it out. He put in the work and he paid off. It's an American dream. And we were like, are we just cynical wankers? And then Joe.ie or some Irish news put it up. And every comment from Irish people was slagging the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, it's
we have
fucking
such
unhinged.
a low threshold for bullshit.
Do you know?
We have just the smallest amount of bullshit, and we will not accept it at all.
No, absolutely, you'd sniff
Americans
it out.
love it.
Wild. The one, my heart broke for the man who buttoned up his jacket wrong. Now, but here's the thing. I fucking love that he did that, because it's showing, like, I'm not...
He was an animator, wasn't he?
I'm a fucking animator, I know that, you know, I know those people, and I'm like, do you know what? You were yourself up there.
The animators, at award show, the animators are always at the back of the room, right beside the sound desk.
Breaks my heart.
And your man got up and he had his fucking shirt buttoned wrong.
Oh, but he was so excited.
Can you imagine his mother fucking throwing scones at the fucking
I
fridge?
actually think, though, at the same time, like, I'm so glad you did that. It's perfect. It really represents your department.
What did you think of, did you think, not Rosie Perez, Amelia, what's it called?
Amelia Perez.
Amelia Perez.
Kevin.
Do you think Amelia Perez did you think they were going to win big?
No, I haven't seen the film, so I can't comment. But all I've seen...
What I've seen looks like a scene from South Park.
So there was a song that was shown to me.
Penis and vagina.
What
Vagina
the
and penis. Swapping for a man and a woman.
That. But here's
It
the
looked
thing
mental.
that was eye-opening to me. The awards that they did win, not one of them that went up mentioned trans rights or the trans community. So I think that's pretty telling to me of, like, was it ever about that for you guys?
Yeah.
And people, a lot of the trans community, I've seen it, think it's fucking awful and don't think it represents. Obviously, when a song like that is in it, you're like, when
it's like a straight French guy making a film about a Mexican trans woman.
And I think it's interesting when you saw people, you know, there's different people involved in it, and the best supporting actress as well got the award. But anytime there was a mention of that director's name, there wasn't a reaction from it. And you can tell that from.
I thought it's so ridiculous and hilarious and sad how. So that was like a big favorite, that movie.
Yeah.
Like for months, that was like a favorite to win big. Mm-hmm. And then they went through Yuwon's tweets, and she was saying like really dodgy shit, kind of racist shit, stuff about George Floyd. And
oh my God.
And then it was like, oh, this is a bit shaky. But then the Academy finally got pissed off with her when she slagged off the Academy Awards like 5 years ago. So the Academy is like, all right, look, you can slag off. Different races.
But
or you can make shitty comments about a man who was killed by a cop, knee on his fucking neck. But don't slag off our little golden man, Oscar. It was mental. That's where they draw the line.
Yeah, but that's so the Academy. But that's just what I
This is Christmas for Tinseltown.
This is our night.
Christmas for Tinseltown.
But just the fact that, and again, I can't comment because I haven't seen the film, but I have just seen a lot of backlash from the trans community on it, and the fact that they did not mention the trans community in acceptance speeches, which is pretty telling to me.
Would you love to win an Oscar?
Would I? I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, that's never going to happen in my lifetime, and why would it?
You don't know that.
I'm pretty confident.
Sean Baker could cast you as a sex worker in his next film.
Hey, Sean, if you're listening
I want an Irish Colleen sex worker.
If you're listening in, Sean, I am available.
She gets robbed
And we can talk shop about editing, Kevin,
There you
on
go.
set. We'll just really riff on that.
Do you want to do crossfade there? Try it. Try a star wipe. Star wipe. Man.
Try the barn doors.
Lovely stuff.
This show is part of HeadStuff Podcasts. Here's another show you might like.
Hi, sorry. Oh God, I didn't mean to interrupt your podcast. Yes. Sorry, I'm young.
Yes, I'm hot and I'm gay and we're young hot guys.
Yes, yeah.
Really apologize for interrupting, but we have our own podcast.
Yes, it's also on the HeadStuff Podcast Network. Sorry for interrupting, but it's really good. And
I didn't want to say this, but it's actually really, really, really good. Really funny. My mum says so. We are three guys, but we're not real blokey. Do you know what I mean? We're soft and friendly and nice.
exactly like this timid request to ask you to listen to our podcast. Exactly. We're not going to bash you over the head.
No.
We're approachable men.
Yeah. So listen, when you're finished this one, don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a good part coming up.
But if you don't, we will bash you over the head. I know people. Anyway, enjoy the podcast.
No threat.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Do you know how the Oscars have started?
No.
So, this is the mad thing. The Oscars were started basically to crush the unions. So, back in the day, there was a lot of protests from people working in the film industry, carpenters, electricians, set builders, makeup, every aspect of hardworking people in the industry. And actors got behind it. Actors would go to the protests, like big names, huge big names, and they would stand in the protests holding signs. And because actors are there, you're getting a lot of press. So the head of, I can't remember which fucking studio, maybe Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, decided we need to destroy this. So let's give out awards to the actors. And by doing that, you're splitting the idea that we're all in this industry together. You're going like, well, the workers are the workers, but the stars, they're the talent. And by doing that, it totally fucking split the unions in two. And that's why we have Oscars now. As a way to crush unions.
God, I feel terrible for fucking watching it now. That is
But that's
grim.
the thing. Like it's such a cynical, meaningless thing. But if you won it, Justine.
But here's the thing.
If you won it, it'd
to
be
me,
amazing.
All I would want is the nomination, and I truly, truly mean that. That to me is winning. Because I'm like,
so you can do that speech. You know, it's just to be nominated is it's amazing.
I'm never going to be on that stage. If I was nominated, there's not a hope in hell I'm winning that thing. And I would be like, class, I'm here at the Oscars and I'm going to have a few pints. That's all I want from that night.
Do you know what they got
and
in
I might
their
walk around?
Do you know what they got in their gift bag?
That's what I want. I want the gift bag.
You want the gift bag?
Yeah.
I know they got a 1 point Oscar gift bag. They got $200 worth of pre-rolled joints and gummies.
This is what I'm talking about, Kevin. And then, I just hit up Jason Segel at the after party. I'm like, hello, would you like to have some gummies?
Why didn't you just spike them?
Jesus, Kevin.
So the gift bag is worth 200 grand.
Do you know what I mean? I just want the nomination.
So let's see what we have here. The collection includes cannabis products, pre-rolled joints, THC-infused drinks, a 4-night stay at a resort in the Maldives that's worth 23 grand, baby. Jesus. A 5 grand stay at the Barcelona Hotel, as well as Ancestry DNA's 25 grand VIP family history experience.
What?
Now,
25 grand?
If you were Brad Pitt, are you really going to give Ancestry DNA your DNA?
Well,
they could be cloning little pits.
Yeah,
little pits running around the place. They're going to fucking sell them on. What else we got? So a genealogist built up your family tree. Also includes 240 John Boo's cutting board. Fuck me. A cutting board worth $240.
What does be happening out there?
That'd be only used for like executing the 1% when we eventually rise up. Skincare products from Swiss brand Institutum. Luxury pocket squares from Danny Lashley, valued at $1,570.
I'd be regifting here now.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Jesus, Mom, I saw this board.
Daddy, I got you a lovely pocket square. Grant, a napkin. It's worth $1,700. Oh, that's nice. Thanks very much, Christine.
Now, I wonder, question for you. I assume if you're invited to the Oscars, I couldn't tell you, do you get a +1? And if so, does that person also get the gift bag?
Well, I think nominees get a special gift bag.
Okay.
And then everyone, I think everyone gets a gift bag.
It's wild because they have these multiple, like there's the Vanity Fair after party. There's these different after parties. And I'm like, what would the equivalent
Elton
be?
John does one.
He does an after party. Like, what's the equivalent if the IFTAs, not that there are multiple after parties, but, you know, there'd be the group that go to Whelan's, there'd be the group that go home, the group that go...
Well, when we, at the IFTAs...
Lily Bordello's, if that was still a thing.
See, at the IFTAs, I think we wrapped up it was around 3 o'clock that we were like, you have to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then Kneecap...
Everyone's staying in the hotel pretty much.
Yeah, everyone's staying in the hotel. So Kneecap was like, they had a couple of bottles of Prosecco.
Right.
And we met them in the lift and they were like, come up to our lift. And we were like, all right, sound, yeah. And we were kind of debating. I was like, we have to pick up the kids the next day at school.
Yeah.
And so
you'll not be seen for a week if you go back there with them.
And me, Siobhan, two of our friends. And one of the lads, the DJ Profi, gave my friend the bottle of Prosecco to hold for the lift. And whatever way we just managed it, they got out of the lift and we just stayed in the lift and we robbed their Prosecco.
Stop.
So I feel bad, DJ Profi, if you're listening. We didn't really mean to steal it, but then we just sort of did.
Yeah. You'll not be back at the IFTAs next year, Kevin.
Oh my God.
That's it. It's over.
I mean,
game over. Ball burst.
It was a ballsy move.
It was.
Like,
Jesus.
if you ever rob a bottle of Prosecco from a man in a balaclava.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, of all the people, I would not have been one of the guests I would have gone near taking anything from.
I know, they were lovely lads.
But I wonder, is it that you get invited to different after parties, like the Vanity Fair one, all these things?
No, I think it's pretty, I don't know.
It's all to be seen. You know, where the cool people are at.
But then you can't get too balubas.
No, that's the thing. That's again why I'd rather be nominated and not have to worry about going on stage to say a speech.
Yeah.
I
think Al Pacino, one year, he was up for an award and he was stoned out of his fucking mind and he didn't win. And you could see him and he's like so relieved. And he said after, he was like, I wouldn't have been able to get up on the stage. He was like, I was thanking Christ that I didn't win.
The only reason I'd want to really, if I, be nominated but winning, I'd only be doing it for Ireland. Honest to Jesus. You just feel like, if you're out there, it's not just you're representing. I just feel
you're representing the town.
The responsibility.
Representing the county.
Yeah.
Representing the country.
Yeah. It'd be that I'd be disappointed for. I'd feel sorry. I was like, I let Ireland down. That's right.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd ever recover from that.
Crying like Katie Taylor.
I'd be,
with a tricolour wrapped around you. And your manager rubbing your shoulders. Did you watch the Bob Dylan film?
No.
Are you a fan of Bob Dylan?
Look, I'm not.
Taking him or leaving.
Yeah.
I watched it and it's just so strange. Edward Norton playing like Pete Seeger. And he was like, at the start of the film, Pete Seeger is like a huge star. He sings like, little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky. You know that song? And you're just watching him like introduce an act on stage. And I was like, wow, like pop stars have really evolved. This looked like a geography teacher. He's like a balding geography teacher with his belt up to his belly button. And he was like, hello, kid. Like, sounds like fucking Kermit the Frog if he was a man.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss that. Where are all the kind of, where are all the ugly pop stars?
Yeah. I suppose the risks are higher these days because you're always going to be seeing it every moment in time. So people are conscious of that on social media to be like, Jesus, I suppose I bet they'll be looking all right.
Yeah, but
there's obviously something really endearing about someone who didn't give a shit.
in the 70s, there was quality, ugly pop stars. Like, they'll never get back in the door again. It's like you have to be gorgeous now.
They're due a resurgence, though. I'd say.
Yeah, I can see that. Everything comes around swings.
Well, I think as well, I don't know, when I look at films and things and TV shows, I like to see people that are normal. You know, as opposed to someone that's insanely stunning that I'm like, well, this isn't even an accurate representation
But
of
that's
human.
why, like in the 90s, if you had a film starring an English character, if you had a film about an English character, you would get an American man to play him.
Yeah.
And that was always the way. And now it's gone the opposite way. Now all the British people are playing Americans because they actually have normal faces. And all the Americans look like their teeth are perfect, their skin is perfect,
mental.
their hair is
It's
perfect.
gone insane.
They look like Ken.
Yeah.
Not Barlow. Barbie's Ken.
They want Ken Barlow.
They want Ken Barlow.
We've gone from Barbie to Barlow.
Ken, can you do an American accent? Well, I'll certainly give it a try. That's great, Ken. That's great, yeah.
You've got the part.
You've got the part. You're in Jurassic Park 7.
Somebody
better get these dinosaurs back inside them cages.
Oh Lord! But there, I prefer seeing that.
Have you ever do an American? I had to do an American accent for an audition yesterday.
I had to do one for a tape before. I
feel like when we're at home or with our friends, our American accent is perfect.
Yeah.
But if the pressure's on,
completely. But the
just
thing
sounds
is,
bad.
if I was being cast, there's no point in casting me because I know what's going to happen on the day. You'll be like, could you ad-lib these lines? And I'd be like, well, I haven't gone over that 19 times, that specific
I
line
haven't
in
written
an
it
American.
phonetically.
No, like I couldn't. I'm like, I'd love to get elocution or like lessons for that with an acting coach for accents. I find it fascinating.
There is an acting coach, an accent coach rather.
Yeah.
Who all the stars go to, and she writes it out like phonetically. I think it's a woman. She writes it out the entire script out phonetically.
Good God.
No,
I just find it fascinating. If I could hold an accent, that'd be great. I can do a deep South American accent, but that's,
hit me with it.
That's never going to get me casting it.
Hit me. What does it sound like?
It's not good, Kevin. It's an exaggeration now altogether.
Come on.
Well, I say now we're here now in the deep South, and we're talking to you on the podcast about.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not bad. It got better.
Yeah.
Can you say, I was just in here to bust up a chifferobe?
Yeah, I was just in here to bust up a what?
A chifferobe.
A chifferobe.
It's like a type of wardrobe. It was from How to Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, it's not How to Kill, it's just To Kill a Mockingbird. It's not an instructional manual.
Well, I get wary doing accents at all because I'm like, God, am I...
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
I'm like, am I part of a problem? Are
you culturally appropriating the deep
Am
South?
Yeah. Am I
I
insulting?
think you're allowed to culturally appropriate other white people.
Okay.
It's fine. That's why German accent's fine.
Yeah.
Italian accents, I think, is okay.
Yeah, I can get you.
French, grand. Chinese, no.
No.
And I've warned you before just to stop doing that when you're ordering food. Did I ever tell you there's a Chinese in Limerick Carl Spain told me about? Now, I'm not going to do the voice.
Good man. Good man.
There's a Chinese in Limerick. And when he's like a Limerick lad. So he speaks with like a Limerick accent. How's it going, boy? But it's more Cork, isn't it?
That was Corky,
That was kind of Corky, sorry.
That's but
when he's chatting to. So you go into the Chinese and he chats away to you in a Limerick accent. But when the phone rings, he puts on a Chinese accent.
Oh my God!
Because people want to hear the Chinese food has been made by a Chinese person.
Holy God!
So when he puts on the accent, now I'll just leave a pause as you can do it yourself at home. Then he hangs up the phone and he goes straight back into Limerick.
Holy God!
Isn't that hilarious?
Jesus Christ! Fucking hell! That's very though. Like, yeah, it makes sense for him.
I mean, you have to hustle.
There you go. Marketing.
Got some Kevin's news for you, Justine.
Woo!
Lovely stuff.
So this is a very interesting story. Did you know that chimps prefer to pee with each other.
Oh, they don't get stage fright.
There's been 600 hours of study in Japan, no less.
Right.
And it shows that chimps love pissing together.
God.
It's contagious. When one go, they tend to all go. The question is why? So they found that chimps with lower status in the pecking order were more likely to engage in copycat behaviour, highlighting the role of social influence in the psychological phenomenon of urinating.
That's wild now.
Other known examples of socially contagious behaviour in animals include yawning and sudden mass movements of herds. So the urination study marks a world first. So that's pretty interesting. I think I'm more evolved than chimps because I do not like pissing with other men.
No. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, women a lot of times will go to the bathroom together, but we're not pissing together.
Yeah.
Majority of the times.
Now, what did it take for you to learn that fact?
Going out.
Were you going like, right, girls, let's go for a big piss?
No, you know, like you
just
never.
We're actually here just to chat about what's going on outside.
It's 2 for 1 job. You do both. But I know it's very different for lads from talking to a lot that, you know, you go into the urinal and there's a lad right beside you. Like, why? This whole thing is fucking empty. Why are you standing right beside me?
First of all, the designs for urinals, especially like the old school one. I remember there was a pub in Ballinyan, Cavan, and the toilet was literally you leave the pub, you walk out to the yard, which is behind the pub, and you just piss against a wall.
Wow.
With a gutter on it. Like, it was literally just a
and what
wall
did the women do?
Outside. I was never in the women's jacks.
Okay.
But the idea that you just piss into a trough with other men, it's just...
Oh, God.
This is the best
do
we
you
have.
know what that is? That's at, like, in the UK, if you go to, like, football matches, they set them up on the street. There's just be a section where they've set up a fucking, like, gutter.
Yeah.
A big row of it. And there's, like, a little wall kind of put up with plastic. I'm like, that's fucking grim.
No. Like, I mean, if you were to design a better urinal, what would it look like?
Do you know what I'd do? I'd have music blaring because that's the one thing I hate when I go to a cubicle.
The sound of pissing on a tape. Because the most
just waterfalls.
The most frightening thing as a man is you go to the toilet and you're like, right, I'm about to piss here.
Yeah.
And you're like, here it comes. It's on the way.
Yeah.
And then another man comes in behind you and you just can't go.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, he can hear
that there's
no
nothing. Yeah.
piss coming out. And several times, it's more when I was a younger man, in my younger, more vulnerable days, where I would just sort of pretend to shake.
Yeah.
And just go back. And I'm like, he fucking knows.
Yeah. No, it's the exact same in the women's, especially if you go into the toilet with a friend and, like, I just mean in the middle of the day or something, and you're both in cubicles and I'm like, oh my God, they know there's no sound coming from this cubicle. I've got nothing.
Here's an app idea. Go on. The iPiss.
The iPiss.
So you have your phone in your pocket. You go to your urinal or to a toilet. If it doesn't come, you just press it and it just plays the sound. And then it gives you the confidence to know, well, I can piss or I can't piss.
Yeah. Well, I think you're onto something. Like, I think it's actually Japan where they do that in a lot of public bathrooms. They have music blaring. But I think you're right. It should be the sound of a waterfall and water running constantly. So you can never tell the difference of when someone's actually...
Now, the only thing there, Justine, here's a fly in your ointment, is if you're waiting in a queue and you're mad for the toilet, the last thing you want to hear is rushing water.
Yeah. Well, that separates, the strong from the weak.
I got in a fight in a toilet over this issue.
Right.
I thought I told you this before. During lockdown, you remember when there was only 2 people allowed in a toilet?
Yes.
So I was in Whelan's. No, I was in Grogan's.
Okay.
And 2 people per toilet.
Well, Grogan's is fucking tiny. I think you'd only fit 2 in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a small toilet. And so I go in there. I'm waiting outside, first of all. One man comes out. I go in. And I'm trying to piss. And then, like, 2 big Southside lads come in behind me and start talking really loudly right behind me. And there's signs everywhere. Only 2 men allow in the toilet at the one time.
Yeah.
I can't piss.
Yeah.
This chatting. Human beings have evolved, Justine, human males and probably females as well, where we used to be monkeys, okay? And let's say you're pissing in a bush and you need silence and you need a little bit of calmness.
Yeah.
And then 2 other monkeys come up behind you. You can't piss because A, you need to either fight this monkey or run away.
Yeah.
So that's our evolution. That's in our bones.
Yeah.
So obviously you can't piss if there's 2 lads talking very loudly.
Yeah.
And then I just turned around and I was like, "Here, lads, it's supposed to be fucking 2 men in the toilet at the one time. COVID, lads." I was pointing to a sign, like I was trying to be imposing.
Yeah.
And he was really dismissive. He was just like, "Just fucking go ahead, will you?" And I was like, "Fuck you, man. Just fucking go out, will you? Just fucking wait outside." And I was getting like, my heart was going.
Oh,
and I was like, he was like, "Just go ahead." And I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to piss now." There's like, I've got too much adrenaline. like I'm either running or fighting this monkey. And so I grab him and I go to fuck him out the door. And they were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like half buttoned up, like shoving this. Like, he goes, "Get the fuck out!"
Kevin takes health and safety so seriously. My
the
God.
barman, one of the barmen come in and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here?" And I was like, "Sign says only 2 men allowed in this toilet. These 2 jokers here." And he was like, whoa, just relax. And he was like, "Lads, go outside." And he said to me, "You just go, just finish your piss." And I was like, I was no way I was pissed now. I was like, "Fuck it, it's grand. It's grand. No, it's grand. I went already." I went back, sitting down full of piss. Sitting down just like,
oh my God.
hoping these lads don't fucking see me sitting outside again. It was,
oh no.
I was awful.
Jesus, what was the point in any of it? No, health and safety. You're dead right, Kevin. You're doing
There's
the right thing.
There's a fucking disease going on here,
it's a
lads.
pandemic, if you hadn't noticed.
It's a fucking pandemic.
But it's the same way dogs. You know the way when a dog is peeing or taking a shit, he has to make eye contact with you because it's like this safety thing where he's like, "I'm vulnerable now. Keep
Oh,
me safe."
really?
Yeah, that's why they do it. They
That's
keep
why
an
they do
eye
it.
on you to be like, "Hey, you got my back.
You got
yeah,
me in case
cover
somebody
me."
bites my bum.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know what that was for.
Well, that's what they do. It's yeah. I need to get.
I was unaware of that. What about cats? Cats don't give a shit, do they?
I don't give a shit about cats, so I couldn't tell you what they do.
Well,
and I
we've
don't.
established before that you are a cat racist.
No, I don't want any harm done to a cat. I just would never. I would never have one as a pet.
If you were in a small room, would you say, "God, you can't swing a cat in here"?
No.
Would you, if you were in a big room, would you say, "God, you could really swing a cat in here"?
Could swing a few.
I saw recently there's a new TikTok trend of lads dropping things on their foot.
Right.
Starting small with like a remote control or maybe a large double decker Mars bar.
Yeah.
And then you build it up to like mobile phone, build it up eventually to like air fryer.
Okay.
Or like a VCR.
Right.
And
because it's interesting because you said, men have evolved. And it's just funny now because this story is the opposite.
It's going the opposite way.
Yeah. For what reason?
To TikTok. Just to get
Yeah,
likes
I hear
and views. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they'll do. There's wild ones going around where people set up now that they've set up a body in their fucking house where it looks like they're cheating on their partner, and then the partner comes in, and 9 out of 10 what happens is the partner attacks them as opposed to who they think is this like built fake person they're making out with.
Yeah, I mean, why?
The whole thing is mental anyway. Why are we doing this?
Why are you surprised if somebody betrayed you? Are you going to attack the betrayer or the person they're betraying you with?
Yeah, do you know what? I've never thought about it. I guess because I don't ever want to be in that scenario.
I don't like to think about it.
I don't like to think about it. Kevin.
So they're pretending to shift. What do they have? Like a dummy or how's it work?
They have a dummy, but it's from the door. The person coming in, they only see the back of them, so they think it's like a hoodie up, and they think, and their partner is like arms around the dummy as if they're like.
How strong is this relationship? Do you reckon?
Exactly.
Like,
if your whole relationship is now, God, I'll play a prank on him because there's nothing else going on between us.
I am so bored with this man or woman.
I'm just using him to make TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Now. That's what so many of it. Oh, it's so grim. It's
the saddest thing you see on holidays is the TikTok boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or the Instagram boyfriend, because I remember we were somewhere in Spain and we saw a TikTok daddy. which is a different thing
good
altogether.
God.
Or Instagram Daddy. So this is like a young, beautiful girl on a trip with her dad. And it was at the side of like a big cliff overlooking the sea. And she was like, Dad, okay, take the photo. And he was like, taking a photo like a dad.
Yes.
Shitly.
Yeah.
Dads are shit at taking photos. I'm shit at taking photos. And she was just like, no, these are terrible. Like, what? She's like, I want you, like, can you get the light? Can you get the light, like, on the side of my face, on the side of my boob, and just on my leg? Oh,
Lord Jesus.
And it's just this dad going like, I've made some bad choices.
Jeez, I'd never even think to ask my father.
We watched them. We were sitting down just kind of watching them for like 15 minutes.
Fucking hell, that's so grim. That's... Yeah, I'd never even think to ask my father to take a photo. Dad famously...
He would take a photo of his own face.
Yeah, I mean, back in the disposable camera days, you know, you'd get a photo album developed and you'd be like, well, Dad shot all those because no one would have a head. It would be necks. And I'm talking about my communion, confirmation. It's just suits and no heads. And you'd be like, right, Dad had the fucking phone or the disposable camera. So when Mom tried to take a photo of me with Pat Short, she took the first known selfie with a disposable camera where it was facing her face.
Oh my... With a disposable camera?
Yeah.
Even to click the clicky thing, you need to be holding it the right way.
Yeah.
Well, they're all on Facebook nowadays.
No, my parents are not.
Oh, I'm going to get them onto it.
You will not.
I'm going to send them a poke.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I tell you, fucking Facebook can fuck off. I'm sick of it.
I don't go on it at all.
No, I don't. It's just that someone sent me a notification being like, oh, someone set up account as me being like, oh, fake, or not fake, my private account, follow me here. And I contacted Facebook 15 times to tell them to take it down. And they're like, we've made a decision not to take it down. I'm like, what do you have to do? I'm like, this person isn't, trying to be me. And my fear is that they're trying to get money out of people being like, here, I'm.
What if they end up getting more work than you?
What if they end up,
Justine, I don't know what you've been doing lately, but your Facebook account is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm
will you do an ad for Paddy Power for us? Right, have you anything else to bring to the table?
No.
Did we announce last week?
We did.
We're
doing a live on the 16th of March.
Unfortunately, it sold out before we actually announced it on the podcast. So
we did announce it on the podcast.
But looking forward to that. It's going to be a good crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lot to organise and plan. But thank you to everyone who's gotten tickets. I was blown away by the interest.
Yes, we'll do something bigger soon.
We will.
Because we just didn't really think people would be that interested.
Wild. I was blown away. It was just that someone contacted me like, do you know those tickets are sold out? I was like, that thing was only up a few hours ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking class. Thank you. And we're very excited for it.
And unlike the every single actor who won an award, we are going to actually thank the fans.
Yes.
I watched a clip of that The Rest is Entertainment where they were talking about Oscar speeches, and they're like, when is the last time you ever heard an actor thank the people who go to the fucking cinema? Every musician, when every musician gets an award, the first thing they do is like, I wouldn't be here without the fans. Whereas
that's
like actors go like, thank you God, thank you Buddha, thank you my wife, oh my God, thank you the producer Lorne, oh my God, the director, without you I wouldn't be here. Yeah, fucking no shit.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be a film.
Yeah.
It's
a wild contrast.
Yeah, thank you to the fans, because ye are what make us doing this.
That was a sentence. That was a sentence I can stand behind.
Ye are what make us do this.
Yeah. And I'd happily piss in a group setting with you if I didn't have severe stage fright.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful sentiment to end on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, our producer, Hilary.
Woo!
Thank you to Damo Dagger, who made the theme tune. Thank you, Justine.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for saying thank you. And thank you, fans. You are what makes us important.
Gurv Mila Mahagan.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.